Yeah, cruising in the ocean with my fellas, waving at the shore, we got all them people jealous. They see that we shining from way over yonder. Gotta thank my father, my sponsor, for putting me on board and also giving me the capability to live life with no fear, create buzz with no beer. God is the reason why I live like this. Now everybody hating me, now I feel like Chris. Working out, eating right, now I look like this. Phone filled with different numbers, now my ex all pissed. Now I'm playing, she don't care cause she move like this. Man, I ain't hating cause she bad, man, we all ruthless. Man, I got money in my pocket, diamonds on my pinky and that brain.
All right, go ahead.
All right, you guys, we got BZ Monte Natra, you know what I'm saying? Just call me Monty, whatever you want to call him. You know, he can give you his whole entire catchphrase if you want to do that, BZ, right quick.
Yeah, I can do that. Is just call me Monty, or it's King Gigawatt. Just call me Monty, Monty Natra. If you are a fan, I got you. My favorite food is crab and lobster. And then there's BZ, you know what I'm saying? Yep. So
Yes,
yeah, so yeah, what's good? What's good?
yeah, we up, man. We up, man.
Yeah.
So we took the time to go right here and figure out, you know, we're going to give it a little bit of break towards the wrestling. If we ever bring up wrestling, we might bring up wrestling, okay? So if you guys want to hear all the wrestling talks, they will be there. But I also took the time to go ahead and ask my boy some really good questions, you know what I'm saying? Like give him basically like an interview, you know what I'm saying? We might do 10, we might do 20, we might do 30, 40, 50, now I'm playing. But we'll just dumb it down to at least 20 questions if we got the time, you know what I'm saying, to go right here and get all the questions knocked right out the park and for him to answer them. So without further ado, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and answer you a question. That's crazy. No, ask you a question. Boy, my words these days. I'm going to ask you a question. The first question is, if you had to describe who you are in one word, what would it be?
Oh wow. Now that's a question.
Yeah,
Damn.
bro. And by the way, I've been told I am the king of questions, by the way. So
Yeah, bro, you got that. You got that. Dang, man. What kind of one word to describe everything as a whole? Wow, that's deep.
Yeah, bro.
Okay. I'll say a chameleon
Mm.
because I can adapt to anything if necessary. I can
I like
adapt to
that.
anything. Now, I'm not saying that I would do everything that everybody does, or things of that nature, but I can be around smokers, drinkers. I can be around Christians. I can be around believers. I can be around different religions. I can be around anything and just adapt to them and fit in without them feeling that they're being judged by me or me. You know what I'm saying? Them thinking anything
Yeah,
like that. I can be around anything and they'll be like, "Oh no, I can come. He can come because he ain't judging me because of this. He ain't doing that." Like,
right.
yeah, I can be around that. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
could say
that's
chameleon for
good, bro.
sure.
That's good. I love adaptability because to me it shows growth. It shows that you are willing to learn. It shows that you're open minded. I had a friend of mine, you know, that was telling me you gotta be a lot more open minded. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to things that you wouldn't normally like, and you gotta take the time to appreciate them. And this guy told me basically, bro, like you gotta really start enjoying musicals. And I was like, bro, I don't like musicals. What do you not understand? I'm not trying to get
Right.
into that stuff. I just don't like certain films that have musicals in
All
them.
singing in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the singing and you all this opera singing high notes. I was like, bro, oh my gosh, like I could not, bro. I
Yeah.
couldn't even get into it. I was like, bro. I remember watching Joey Badass in the interview that
Yeah.
he did with what was it, Gianni and Michael Rainey Jr. from their podcast. By the way, who I'm talking about, Michael Rainey Jr. and Gianni Paola played Tariq and Braden on Power with
Okay.
two ghosts.
Okay.
And so they had Joey, we all know who plays Unique on
Right.
Raising Kanan. They
Yeah.
had him on there, and he talked about how he was getting into acting and how like he never he never saw himself doing stage theater and singing and being like a musical artist, you know what I'm saying, things like that. But at the same time, you know, people always tell you, hey, if you don't try, you never know how well you might do. So maybe one of these days, I can't call it, but maybe one of these days, your boy might be doing some musicals. Okay, we'll see, but we'll
Oh,
see, bro. I'm gonna definitely need me a vocal coach. I'm gonna need somebody to sing, help me with the high notes, everything. Like, bro, give me all the waters I can
That,
drink.
that is
Okay,
funny.
I need the registering. I need all of that. All right. If you're gonna have me do that, I'm gonna need to be prepared. Okay. Period.
Right,
So,
right.
next question I want to ask you, bro. What was your childhood like, man? Like
That's cool.
what was your childhood like for you growing up? Because everyone has a different childhood. Everyone has a different upbringing. We all come from different places, different, forms of life from time to
Hmm.
time. People
Yeah.
got I came into my life rich, or I came into my life poor, or
Hmm.
my life was this, or my life was that. So, like, what was your childhood like, man?
Yeah, I came into my life blessed. I would just say that.
Amen.
My I remember my mom told me the story when I was first born. As soon as I forget what it was called, some disease. But as soon as I was born, I guess I stopped breathing when I was out. Like I
Mm,
wasn't breathing the whole entire time. So um, I'm trying to think what it was called. It was a specific condition that I had at the time, but I wasn't breathing or nothing like that when I first came
mm,
out. So my mom and my pastor at the time, they was all praying to Jesus at the time. You know what I'm saying? So when I was born, I
yeah.
was dang near born dead, and it was a miracle
Mm,
at the time. You know what I mean? So when that started up everything, like coming in hot, like yo, he
yeah.
almost didn't make it. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So I came in with
yeah.
that. My my dad wasn't around, but my mom raised me and my sister. My grandfather, of course, helped out. My cousins helped out, of course. My uncles, if they was around, they helped out. Things like that. So it wasn't like that. And I've never been that type of person to hold a guy and that didn't pop up to help raise me or whatever. I didn't hold him like right now. When I see my dad, I'll treat my dad like he was here the whole entire time.
Right.
And people be like, well, why you do that? I was like, well, first of all, in the Bible, it tell you that you got to honor your father and your mother so that your days will be long. You know what I
Amen.
mean? And we got to understand. I just said this on my podcast the other day, like 2 days ago. We got to understand that it don't say in the Bible to not honor your mother or your father. It don't say, well, honor them unless they leave. If they leave, don't honor them no more. It don't say that.
Mm, right.
So since it don't say that, at the end of the day, we gotta watch and be mindful on how we treat our parents, regardless if they were there or if they wasn't there. We gotta be
Yeah.
mindful. You know what I'm saying? So, because I know a lot of people just because I think on Rail's podcast, shout out to Rail, the other day that he did about fathers. It was a comment that he said that one of his
Hmm.
students said, and
Hmm.
she said something along the lines of, well, Father's Day ain't nothing but just a regular day. No, nobody really
Mm,
care about Father's Day. And that right
mm.
there was kind of, you
That's
know what I'm
deep.
saying? That's a deep situation. But it's
Yeah.
probably coming from something that she was born and raised off of. So, you know what I mean? Her mom might have told her something and she
Hmm.
believed it, which might not have been the truth or whatever, but that's a whole
Hmm.
nother subject for a whole nother day. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so my you know what I'm saying, my dad wasn't there, but I still treat him properly. My mom raised us. She did a heck of a job. She had like, you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying, let me think. Uh I was what let me see. Oh, what's which is crazy, I was the artist and I was the artist all the way to the fifth grade. My sister was in the
Oh
band
wow.
or did doing the music. She played the clarinet all the way to fifth grade. Sixth grade got here somehow, some way. I got passed with a drum and she got passed with a paintbrush. And she
Mm,
started drawing and I started doing music. It was weird because that was never the case. I was the one that was drawing the cartoons, the Sonic the Hedgehogs and all that stuff at the time.
what?
And my sister
That
was
would be
playing,
fire to see.
yeah, and my sister was the one that was playing the clarinet and stuff like that in the band or stuff like that or whatever. So
Mm,
sixth grade, everything switched, and then after that, that was it. I was in band in the sixth grade. I was on the track team. Was the second fastest in the school. That
okay.
was dope. The
Okay.
band, I was cold in the band. I even had the high schoolers in the high school that came to recruit me to be in the band in the eighth grade. They was just to come to the band. Was like, yo, he coming with us next year. They was recruiting. they was recruiting people, and they was like, no, we got him. We got him. We're keeping him. Yeah. So
Right.
that was pretty dope. So I was recruited for that. Ninth grade, you know what I'm saying, was in the band and all that stuff from ninth to 12th. I learned how to make beats from one of my people I call my brother. That was actually one of the ones who recruited me. Shout out to Rashad and Duran. Uh,
Shout
they
out to Ryan.
yeah, they taught me everything I know when it come to that keyboard and stuff like that, man, for real. So, and then my pastor at my church, at like 16, 17 or something like that, he had me doing running a praise and worship team. He put his Casio keyboard on front of me and told me, was like, yo, I need you to start teaching these people the praise and worship songs. I need you to create them. We don't want to hear no praise and worship songs that's already been created or sung by Kirk Franklin or anybody. We want you to create your own joints. And I'm like, what? It's like,
Right.
yeah, create your own joints. And I'm like, all right.
Mm,
So, yeah, so I'm like, every Sunday, I got to come up with brand new songs every
wow.
week. And I got to teach them to the singers at the church and stuff like that or whatever, whatever. So, yeah, man, like, yeah, man. So this music thing was in me. It was like put in my lap. It wasn't nothing. It wasn't nothing I chose. It chose me for real, for real.
So let's pick it back off of that right quick. So like, okay, so you mean to tell me like you was rehearsing, putting together these songs, through the creativity that God had blessed you with, right?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
that talent and whatnot. And you put that together with them. Tell me what that was like. Was that pressuring? Were you ever
It was
nervous? Were you
pressure.
ever like,
It was
yeah, like
pressure,
I'm
bro.
like, dang, like, and how old
Yeah.
were you around that
This was it had to be like 17. I'm gonna say 17,
time?
maybe 18, something like that. But
Okay.
it was pressure, bro. It was pressure because I'm like I wasn't even playing the piano or nothing like that at the time. I was making beats, but I wasn't like Timberland at the time. You know what I'm saying? I was all right,
Right.
but I wasn't that. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah,
you
yeah.
telling me to do, and this is a whole nother lane.
Right.
This is Christian praise and worship. I was
Yeah.
on a rapping tip. You on praise and worship. I'm like, what? That's a whole nother thing. I was doing praise, and that's what people don't know. I was doing
Yeah,
praise and
bro.
worship before I started rapping. I was doing that first.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
know,
bro.
I was doing that first. So it was like,
Crazy.
man, it was something. It was something. It was something. It was different. It was something awesome because it helped me to be. That's why I can create songs as fast as I can create them and stuff like that. But literally, I was making the praise and worship songs. I was singing the backgrounds and then sending them to the people for they could practice the backgrounds, and then we would do it for practice, like literally like that. Yeah, this was back when CDs,
Mm.
you burnt the CDs and stuff like that. I was recording that stuff in my studio. We're recording the stuff, the background vocals, like the highs. I record the parts with just the highs and
Mhm.
get them the CD. Then I would record the lows, then give them a CD. Then record the mids and then get them a CD. Stuff like that. I'm like,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
bro, stuff was crazy, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
bro,
man.
but it was awesome.
Were you selling out the CDs? Like were you
No,
making CDs and making them?
that's why I'm probably this year probably the end of the year that praise and worship CD that I put together at the church I probably will release it this year.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yep,
want
my
to hear
mom been
that.
asking for it. My
I
mom been
definitely
asking
want to hear
for it. And so, and I'm at a church right now where they got praise and worship team and stuff like that. So I'll probably just have them do the backgrounds on the songs and stuff like that. And yeah,
that.
yeah. So
Okay.
I'm
Awesome.
actually, yeah, I'm finally get it done. Finally get it done, man. Got one and done joint. Get it out of there. Like, all right, here. This is what was going on. Yep. Yeah.
Can
So
you?
that stuff was going on. And what else? Go ahead.
Yeah.
You ask something. You ask.
No, no, you're
Cause I
fine.
can
Go
go
ahead,
for it.
bro.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Um. Dang. Yeah. So after the praise and worship happened, and
Hmm.
then I started rapping. I was rapping with my sister husband. 'Cause they wasn't married at the time, or they just got married at the time. And then my other brother that I call my brother, Robert Thompson, which is he's a famous saxophone player in Canton, Ohio right now, Saxy Rob, for real. But we was all together and we made this group called Broken Vessel, and we was all rapper, gospel rap at the time. Yep. So we was
That's so
doing that.
fire.
Yeah. So it was
You
pretty
was a
dope.
part of a group.
Huh? Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
lit.
Yep,
That's
it was crazy, man. I made the beats for it, all of it. Yeah, it was
yeah,
crazy,
man.
bro. Yeah, it was really wild. Yep, it was
So you was
really
doing
wild.
Christian rap around that time. So like, do you remember? Can you recall were there any like influences that you had around that time? Like
Oh
besides
yeah,
like obviously
yeah,
Kirk Franklin.
yeah,
Like what was the rappers around
yeah.
that time?
Well, the rappers when I was doing Christian rap, the rappers I was following was T-Bone. I don't know if you know what T-Bone is, but
Never heard
T-Bone,
T-Bone. Yeah,
yeah, T-Bone, Lil Rascal,
heard Lil
um,
Rap.
Cross Movement, and Great Cross Movement was around. They just started getting popping. Great Tree Records was around. They was like more of a like a thuggish Christian rap type deal. So I was following them.
Like,
They was wild. Yeah, they was wild for real. Yep. And then I still have my ins and outs. Well, yeah, my ins and outs because I was still listening to like Ludacris at the time, so I was blending them. So I had a lot of punchlines in that, and I think that was some of the things that got me over with that. But that was also some of the things that people in the church was like, man, oh he ain't really rapping about God for real. He just rapping about punchlines or whatever, which they didn't understand what was going on. But yeah, but yeah, so I went through a little phase of that. But yeah, yeah,
oh,
we had
hold
that
on,
group
hold
of
on, hold on, right quick, bees. Want me out, man?
yeah. You can. Do he know what we doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna let him know. I'm gonna
Okay.
let him know.
Yep. Yeah, y'all. This ain't no normal interview. Just so y'all know. I just want y'all to I just want y'all to get to know the people y'all be listening to for the wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Because I think we should do an interview for Josiah and for Larry as well. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us be talking and stuff like that, but y'all don't be really knowing what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's necessary for you can know who you're listening to or who you watching. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Because y'all be leaving a lot of comments for us, and we definitely appreciate y'all. Um, and I know a lot of y'all came from Josiah's page. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope, and I appreciate y'all following me through Josiah, just being connected to him. Even if y'all only here for that, I hope that I give y'all some type of, oh man, I want to follow him too. You know what I'm saying? I hope that y'all want to do that as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome. Hmm. So, mm,
He's
yeah.
So he said give him about a couple minutes or so.
Okay.
He got to get things prepared. He got to charge his earplugs. Hopefully his earplugs don't sound underwater. Um, I'm just joking.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
I was just explaining to the crowd that we're gonna interview everybody. Just mine's just now. I want to interview you and Larry because
oh for
I
sure.
want the comment section to know, you know what I'm saying, who we are, even though they know we wrestling fans. But I
Right.
also want them to know us personally and be like, oh yeah,
That's
no,
dope.
oh
That's
I
lit.
rock with Josiah because he, you know what I'm saying, he went to school for this and he do this and and I rock with Larry because of, you know what I'm saying, not just oh
Right,
yeah,
right.
well it's just wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I want them to get
Yeah,
to know us for real,
for
for
sure.
real. So it'd be
Absolutely. I appreciate
yeah,
that.
yeah,
That's
for
love.
sure.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good,
I will go
bro.
ahead.
Yeah. Because there's definitely more to me side about honestly.
Hmm.
Like you would not know. I'm known for doing this. Beats known for
Right.
doing that. Our
Hmm.
history. So yeah, bro. Like yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Um. So speaking of which, actually, I'll go into my next question right quick, and then we go back and more so than you. Do
Hmm.
you? Matter of fact, nah. I'm gonna say that for myself. I'm gonna say that for myself. I'm
All
gonna
right.
make sure it's not you, bro. Make sure it's not
Okay.
you, bro. But um, um. So yeah. So okay. So you had you talk about your influences. Did we finish that?
Yeah, my influences from back then. My influence definitely different now, but from what it was back then, yeah, it was definitely oh Kirk Franklin was playing in the house all the time.
Oh
John P. Key was playing in the house all the time.
yes, he's
Hezekiah
fire.
Walker, Kirk
Love
Franklin, like I said, a little bit of Donnie McClurkin, the Winans for sure, Commission, stuff like that.
You
Yeah,
know what's funny? I ain't gonna hold you. I was just is this him? I was just singing one. I was singing it in my head while I was outside getting some Chinese food.
mm-hmm,
Prior. you had called me, bro. What was it? I was into "This Is My Season for Grace."
Oh yeah.
For
Mm-hmm.
favor. Like I was,
Yeah.
bro. That was low key in
Uh-huh.
my head. That's
Yeah.
crazy, bro. How you just brought him up? That's wild. Yeah, go ahead,
Mm-hmm.
bro.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
So it's them. Karen Clark Sheard for sure. Karen Clark.
Yeah,
Um.
yeah.
Um. Who
Okay,
else?
talk about it, Beezy. Heck yeah,
We
bro.
got Kirk Franklin. We got God's
Yeah,
property. We got everything that Kirk
yeah.
Franklin was connected to. The God's property.
Oh,
The
God's property. I'm tripping.
yeah. He had the one NC. The one NC group he had. He had a lot of joints. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he
I
did.
Yolanda Adams a little bit, not crazy, but a little bit. You know what I'm saying? My mom had all that stuff. So yeah, so that's all we knew. So that's
Mm,
all we knew because we legally in the house, we weren't allowed to listen to no secular music. So
that's crazy.
I was only allowed to, well, not even allowed to listen to secular music, but the only people that I snuck in to listen to was Aaliyah, that One in a Million album, that 100% Genuine album,
Classic.
the DMX, all three of his joints, the Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My
Classic.
Blood, and then the what was the first one? Was Dark and Hell is Hot or something? I think that's what's called.
Yeah.
That one, and then Ludacris, all Ludacris's albums at that time. That's it. I didn't listen to nobody else. And then, oh yeah, Missy Elliott with Timbaland in them. Yeah,
Okay.
but
No,
those was the ones that got snuck in the house. But other than that, like no, and
yeah.
everybody else didn't make the cut. I heard,
The
listen
Shake the
to,
Grace.
yeah, I listened to the Tupac All Eyes on Me and the Machiavelli joint, but that was outside the house. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else
Okay.
had it. I ain't bring that in the crib, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
You play any Nas, any Dre, Snoop Dogg?
No, no. Well, the Chronic 2001 for sure,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. That was in there,
Classic.
but that wasn't in the house. I didn't get snuck in the house. That was just being listened to other places. Yeah, that was just being listened to other places. Yeah. So, yep. Just like the G Unit mixtape, that
Yeah,
Beg for Mercy and stuff like that. It just wasn't listened to in the
yeah.
house. Yeah, it wasn't listened to in the house. But yeah.
There was this 50 Cent video game that came out. I forget what the name of the game was, but it was like 50 with the bulletproof vest. You know what I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about?
Mm-hmm.
Like there was like a game that came out. I don't know. We owned it, but like we had
Mm-hmm.
somebody in our family, or maybe it was a friend of my mom's part at the time, and he had brought it over, and we got a chance to play that game, bro. It was super fun. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, it felt like we were playing Get Rich or Die Trying. We were already hit to 50. I think the moment I got hit to 50 was because of that movie. I didn't even
Mm-hmm.
know about 50 up until that point in time. I already knew about this movie that he was doing rap, and I thought that was like his life for real. Like I wasn't even knowing
Yeah.
that was a whole much fictionalized part of his life that was blurring into some of his reality a little bit. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was dope. But yeah, bro, that's interesting.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro. So okay, so you go from doing essentially like gospel rehearsing, singing, songs, making songs and creating them,
Mm-hmm.
to your transition into doing rap music.
Yeah.
Why transition into doing rap music for you? Like, what was it about rap that you felt like you had to just do for your career path?
Now, okay. Now, this is when this is when I knew it was like it was God and it wasn't me because like I said, it wasn't something that I didn't rap in high school. I didn't do nothing like that. Like I didn't do nothing like that. Like I caught rap
Mm-hmm.
late. I caught rap late. But at the time, when you heavily in the church and when you got new members coming to the church, a lot of times the people in the church be so strict on what the people when they just get saved they tell them what they can and can't do, or you can't listen to secular music, or you can't go here, or you can't go there, and you can't do this and this, right? But in my mind, back when I was younger, in my mind I was like, well, if we can't do that, what is the substitution for it? You can't pull me away from something but not
Right.
give me something else to do. If I was already doing this all the time, if I was always listening to secular music all the time, and if I
Yeah.
just got saved, what music are you going to give me that's going to match that same energy as far as
Right.
being good? Like, how can you go from uh 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 Let me see. Let me see. Like listening to Cassidy, Jadakiss, and Fabulous, and all them all the time. So all of a sudden you get saved, and you just listen to somebody who just nowhere close on that type of level, beats wise,
Right.
or even rap wise. It's just
Right.
like what? No. So at that time, in my head, I'm like, God, what's keeping me on this side? Why do I keep sneaking stuff over here? What's keeping me over there?
Mm.
And what it
Mm.
was the punchlines, the creativity that the music was happening when I was listening to Ludacris, the creativity of Fabulous, the creativity of Jadakiss, all of that stuff. The punchlines is
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
oh, that was hard. And God was telling me, he was like, well, we don't have nobody on this side that's doing that. Why don't you create that over here
Right.
to
Right.
give them something to listen to? So I
Yeah.
did.
That's
So I
deep,
did,
bro.
and a lot of people was like, "Oh man, you straddling the fence, you playing with the line because it was gospel, but in a way, it was right there, it was on the line. Like, bro, all he got to do is say one wrong word, and it's automatically secular. It was just on the line, it was right there, and they had, and it was just like, man, it was a lot of people that was just like, bro, you playing with fire, that ain't no gospel. But then they go back and listen to
Mm.
it and be like, but even if it ain't gospel, he didn't cuss, he didn't say anything negative, he didn't degrade no women, he didn't do nothing like that. So if it ain't
Right.
gospel, what do you want to call it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
It,
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, I
Mhm.
feel like up until this point now, and it's funny because that was a different time back then. That was in a
It
time
was.
where religion was at a standstill, and there wasn't no, telling people the reality of what religion was, and how you live your life out spiritually. There was no, if you were in the church, and based off of how you were raised with a certain denomination, like hence Baptist, hence Pentecostal, hence
Uh,
uh, Methodist. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like if you're growing up in that route, obviously you're gonna be told things like that. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Or Lutheran or whatever, maybe even Catholic to a degree.
Mhm.
For me, as I was coming up, it was I'll get into more of me when my interview was coming around as well. But I'll just give you a little side note. For
Oh yeah, for
me,
sure.
it was okay. You do Christian rap because we don't want to see, because my mom was very much more worried about me and my brother not turning out or selling our souls, or
Yeah,
getting
I
caught
get
with
it.
the
Yeah.
opposed Illuminati, what I'm saying, things like that. So like
Mhm.
we were told things like that coming up. So I was always very much, I wouldn't say I was fearful, but I was very like weary of wanting to be a part of the industry. And to be perfectly honest with you, I already had it back in my head going like, bro, even if I wasn't doing Christian rap, I wouldn't be the typical rapper who cusses a lot in his
Right.
music. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Not because I don't listen. You're a popular environment, so if from time to time you cuss, you cuss. It is what it is. God's not
Right.
against you. You're cussing, so
Right.
you're gonna be punished. Like that's not how our God
Yeah,
like
that's not how
is
it
towards us
works.
at all. Like that's what
Right.
people misconstrue and then
Mhm.
misdirect all the time.
Mhm.
So I all to say, like for me coming up, it was just my mama said, you choose this path or you choose that path, and I will support you on this path, and to somewhat go about appointing her, or at least like in a way of saying, okay, I got you. I went ahead and said, you know what, you're right, I'm gonna do that too. You know what I'm saying? I've come to a realization of what I'm gonna do now, but I'll get into that more obviously when the thing comes for me. So, but
Mhm.
yeah, bro. So like, what ended up changing for you after that? Like, did anything significant change for you, like as far as the bottom line? Because obviously that still is being pressed on you, and I'm not quite sure how long that was being pressed for you. But like, what would you say?
Press on me as far as what, playing the fence or playing the line or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I just had to start understanding that everybody's calling isn't the same.
Mm.
I had to also understand that God might be calling you to do one thing and might be calling somebody to do something else,
Yes.
even though it's the same thing. You might rap and he might rap too, but I'm calling you to do it this way. He might be calling you to do it that way.
Yeah.
He might be calling you to do it with the scriptures and all of that stuff in it, which is not nothing wrong with it. But he might be calling me to do it in a whole nother way.
Okay. Hold that
So,
thought right quick, BB. Hold that
yep.
thought right quick.
hmm Oh, let's see that. We in 20 yet? Oh, 28. All right, there you go.
All right, we have a special guest in the building. It's your boy, King Swoop, whatever you want to call him. You know what I'm saying? We call him Larry on the usual show. But yeah, bro.
Yeah, we definitely gonna like I said with Josiah, I'm gonna say the same thing with Larry. We definitely gonna interview him too, so we can, you know what I'm saying, find out the ins and outs of who Larry is for real, for the
Yep.
comment section as well, because they don't be knowing us. They just know us from wrestling. They don't know us outside of that.
Yeah.
I just be wanting them to fill them in to find out what's really going on. Like, yo, like, who are we? Even though we be cracking up and laughing, whatever, whatever. I want guys to know the real life about what we got going on.
Thank you. Larry, what you doing? Oh, you just okay. All right. Yeah. So like I said, we're back. You know what I'm saying? My guy, RN King Swoop. My bad. My apologies. RN King Swoop is in the building as well. So yeah, bro. BZ, you were continuing on with what you was like saying from the previous question about
Yeah,
like your overall transition into doing the music that you you know prefer.
yeah. It was something that I said. I forgot what I said. Man.
It was based on like what people was telling you of like you can't be doing this type of music or it's secular
Oh yeah, it's
or
just
like
everybody just yeah. Everybody's called to do different things. It's a body of work. Like when they talk about the body of Christ, or you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of people got to play different parts. Like let's say for example, me, you, and Larry do music.
hmm
But if I'm playing the arm, if I do the music, I'm the arm. If Larry does the music differently than me, he's the leg. If you do the music differently, then you might be the stomach or the finger or something like that. Either way, it's all
right.
bringing souls to the kingdom. We just doing it in a different way. Why keep playing? Why everybody got to play the same position? Why do I need three arms? There's only two arms on the body.
That's a really interesting note.
You know what I'm saying? It's only two arms on the body. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, and also a lot of times, me as an individual, and I think all of y'all will agree with this as well. Especially somebody like Larry, maybe even Josiah as well. But like when you hear us on here, and we might, you know what I'm saying? Like from the outside looking in, if you hear Larry and Josiah on here, they might say a cuss word or two over there, whatever, whatever. But you don't know their background though. If you sit down and talk to them, you'll see like, bro, they far from
Right.
all of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they sit there and
Yeah.
tell you about all the stuff with the Christians in the Bible and with K drama and situations and all that. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know that because they assume as soon as they hear a cuss word, they already assume, oh yeah, they ain't no connection to the church. They not connected to God.
Right.
They're not, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Stuff like that. And
Yeah.
that's what it be like. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's certain strategies or certain ways to get people to open up to have conversations with them. You might have to go to where they at. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's it. And then when you go to where they at, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like if Larry got a studio session and they, you know, if they all chilling over there and they drinking or whatever, whatever, I'm gonna be like, no, I don't want to go. Like, why not? I'm going over there. I'm like, whatever. Like, for what? I'm not doing it. Whatever they got going on, I don't have to adapt or adjust to what they doing to not be in the atmosphere because it might still have an opportunity to pray for a person or have a conversation with a person because they
There
might
you
be like,
go.
bro, you look like me, you dress like me, you sound like me, but why don't you smoke? Why don't you drink? Then I give the opportunity to give them my testimony on why I don't do these things. But other than that, I don't press it on them
Yeah.
by as soon as I get there, I got to start talking about it right then and there. That's not how this works.
Yes. Yep.
That runs people off. That runs people off and that runs people
I
away.
agree.
You don't want to do that.
I agree.
Let me punch in on that a little bit.
Yeah.
People forget that made Jesus, God made liquor basically. Wine.
Pretty much.
You turn water into wine.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the same thing but different. Ain't nothing
Yeah.
wrong
So
with it.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Nobody really want to talk about that though. Nobody want to talk about that.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to have the conversation.
Yeah,
it's
they
just
don't
that
want to talk
some
about
people
that. Like you
abuse it.
just turn the water into wine
Yeah,
instead of just turning water into water.
yeah,
Nobody want to talk
Yeah.
about that.
it's just yeah. It's just that some people abuse it.
Yeah, exactly. They drink to get drunk. You know what I'm saying? He ain't telling you to get drunk or things of that nature, but he's not saying that you're not allowed to partake in it. But if you go overboard with it, it turns into a problem.
See,
Mm-hmm.
the issue isn't so much of the drinking being the problem. It's based off of the limit. It's based off of
There
the
you go.
amount you're wanting to consume. And if you're drinking to keep drinking, obviously that tells you as a person you lack self control. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
so much a matter of you're drinking because I want to feel a buzz. We want to that there. Maybe that might be maybe there's some truth towards that as well. Or you might drink because it's good. You know what I'm saying? You might
Yeah,
actually really like the drink. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? So there's that too.
Yeah,
But
it,
if you're drinking
yeah,
to consume,
it do
it's
that.
showing like self control issues basically.
that's the same thing when people be telling
Yeah,
people to eat in moderation. They be like, "Oh no, don't eat
Exactly.
this, don't eat that." I'm like, "Bro, no, you can eat whatever
Exactly.
you want. Eat it in moderation, though."
Yep.
But we be overdoing it. Let me get a 20 piece and a big large fry and all this
Thanks.
crazy stuff.
Thanks.
Be like, "Bro, you out of
Thanks.
pocket. You shouldn't be eating like that. Like, what are you doing?" We're not telling you not to eat it,
Right.
but we just telling you, bro, a 20 piece, you could have got a six. You could be all right.
Yeah.
So you doing? You overdoing it, bro. You tripping.
Yeah. Right. Right, bro. So fact. So
Yeah, so
fact.
that's what everything in life. Moderation, bro.
Yes.
Moderation.
Yes.
For real. And that's the same. That's what anything. You can listen to some type of music. You might want to listen to it in moderation, though. You know what I'm saying? You might not need to
yeah,
listen to it all day or listen to all of that specific. You know what I mean? Change it up.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm punching on that. I'm punching on that real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
I'll tell you the reason. My reason for eating, I might want to, even have a drink here,
Yeah,
especially in the studio, to help me unwind, to help me focus.
yeah,
Even when I'm feeling good, even in the zone,
Hmm.
and when you relax, and you got stuff that makes you relax, you work better, and
it do
you
bring you
relax,
down.
and you have a fun. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, for some people
and,
get crazy. So
yeah.
yeah.
Like
Hmm.
I'll say this: if you know that it makes you act crazy and stuff like that, you don't need it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can't, if you can't get you a drink and sit there and chill, you don't need to
Mm.
be drunk.
Yeah, you don't need to be
Come on.
drinking.
Come on. Talk about it.
Yeah.
You don't need to
Talk
be
about
drinking at all. Like, man, I don't want to lie to you. I dislike people that sit there and get drunk off at once. Like, oh my god, you people need to know how to chill. Oh, they know how to chill. Like, you can mostly it's just you can sit there and chilling. Even when you laugh, they're gonna be in there. They're gonna be in there talking to the music and have the fun. That's
it.
what
Mm.
I feel about that.
Okay. What you got, Josiah?
Yeah, I was going to say, man. Speaking of drinking, bro, and I when I ask this question, I mean this is the funniest regards I can possibly ask a person. Okay.
Hmm.
All
Mm-hmm.
right. Let that be known. Nobody takes the wrong idea.
Okay.
BB, can you recall a time where you may have been inebriated?
Oh yeah,
Like,
for sure.
yeah, can you share
Oh
what
shoot.
that experience was
All
like?
right, yo, this what was I was talking to some girl. I ain't gonna say her name on here because and she don't matter no more. But at the time, she was my girl, and we was at her campus because she was in college. We was at her campus at the time, and her friend was playing some drinking game. It was like if you pull the king or you
Hold
pull
on,
the
Larry.
highest
Right quick,
card.
Larry. Can you mute your phone right quick?
Hmm?
Can you mute your phone right quick? A lot of noise going on in the background. Okay, just right quick. Go ahead, BB.
Okay. Yeah, so it was yeah, they was playing some type of card game. They was playing some type of card game that it if you guessed something wrong or something like that or whatever, you had to drink or something like that. And let's just say I was guessing all the answers wrong, and it was bad. It was bad. I'm talking about she went downstairs because we ordered some. It was funny because she ordered some Chinese food at the campus. I had to go downstairs to get it, but I was stumbling all the way down to the elevator and everything. And I think the person who was dropping the food off, I think they said something smart to me, and we almost got in an altercation. I came upstairs. She was drunk too when I brought the food down. I brought the food up, and she was like, "You okay?" And I was like, "Nah, man. That dude, he said something to me. I don't know what he said. I feel like going to beat him up." She was like, "What? What? Don't nobody be doing nothing to my yo, yo." When I say she was lit, she was lit. She was
I don't
lit. She was
believe it.
ready to go fight everybody. But it was a feeling that I'm like I never wanted to feel ever again, bro. Because I was just like, bro, I
Ooh,
have no control of my body at all. Nothing.
wow.
I ain't got no control.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I ain't
yeah.
got no
That's
control
crazy.
of nothing that's
That's
going on
insane.
right now. I'm like, dang,
Yeah,
man, I'm falling over. I'm doing all this. I'm like, nah, bro. No, no way. I
yeah.
ain't doing this no more. Yeah.
Right.
So, yep. And I only did it because she wanted to do it. It wasn't no junk that I signed up for. I just didn't want to, you know what
Right.
I'm saying, fill out the loop because, you know what I'm saying, everybody else was doing it and I wasn't doing it. You know what I'm saying? But that's that peer pressure
Hmm.
stuff.
I'm
That's,
telling you, man.
yeah, that peer pressure stuff, thinking that you got to do what everybody else do to fit in type deal, which is stupid. That's got to stand on
Yeah.
business. No, I don't do that, and that is what it is. I don't care if I look stupid. I don't care. I'm not doing it. So what? You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But at that time,
I'm in
peer
agreement, bro.
pressure.
I'm in
Yeah, at
complete
that
agreement
time,
with
peer
that.
pressure is just
Peer
you just do
pressure.
what
That's
everybody
it.
else say. You want to fit in.
Yep.
You want to. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to look weird. You don't want to look like. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So you just
Right.
do whatever they want. Yep. So
I'm
yeah, that
telling
was
you,
that
man.
time.
I'm
That
telling
time
you.
was crazy. That'll never happen again. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Yo, Swoop. All right. I'm gonna pass it over to
Woo!
you, bro. Swoop. Go ahead and ask BZ a question, man. Take me a little break. I think I may have asked you a total of 6 or 7 questions I think already.
Is he still there?
So,
Where you at, Swoop?
Swoop.
I don't know where Swoop at.
Larry.
There you go.
Mhm.
There you go.
You want to ask him a question?
That's a big stuff, but I'm going
Repeat that again.
I said you already asked the question I would have asked.
Said you already asked the question that he was gonna ask you.
Can you ask him another one? Can you give another one? Right on spot.
Um,
Like something you want to know about BZ personally. Go ahead.
That's what I always say. It's still good.
oh, hey, I need to put up with Josiah sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, bro.
All right. Before you
Now you're
answer
gonna be
that
cooking.
question,
I
go
really
ahead.
don't know the answer to that.
Oh my God,
Go
that's
ahead.
funny.
Okay. Go ahead and mute your background
That's
right
funny.
quick.
Yeah, we made some cabbage.
Yo, Swoop.
He did.
Okay, there you go. Okay,
That's
cool. Go
funny.
ahead.
That's
That is
funny.
hilarious. How you funny with
Ooh. Well, hold on. How did I meet Josiah? I met Josiah through Rail's podcast, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No, it was through Rails Live.
Yeah,
Rails
live.
Live.
Yeah,
Rails
it's
Live.
live on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah. Yup,
Yeah,
live
yeah,
on Instagram.
yeah, yeah. I was on Instagram doing something, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's how it happened. We just start being on there all the time, having conversations. You know what I'm saying? Talking about whatever. We had another partner that was a woman. I don't bring her name up no
Love her.
more. I don't bring her name up no more. But we had
I
we
love
had
you,
a
by the
partner.
way. know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't bring her name up for nothing. Whatever. Me and Rail was talking about her yesterday. I said, man, she could kick rock, bro. I ain't hearing nothing from her.
I can't
But
I can't.
yeah, but shout out to her. But yeah.
Right.
So yeah, so yeah, Josiah, I've been saying wild stuff like crazy on them lives for the longest. So I've been like I already been like tapped in on that. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
Oh
But
man,
still like building a
great episode.
building building a relationship and building a rapport with them, which is awesome. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with you, Larry. Build a relationship with y'all. I can call y'all my brothers, and I literally never met y'all before, face to face. I'll let y'all know in the comment section right
Yeah,
now.
it's crazy.
We have never been in the
True.
same room. We have never. Well,
True.
Josiah probably been in the same room with Larry because stay close. They stay close to each other. Like they're friends for real.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, we're all
yeah,
friends
yeah.
for real, but they they stay in the same city so they can go see each other and stuff. I've literally never
Mm-hmm.
seen neither one of them ever. All this stuff is off
Never.
of
Yep.
all this stuff is off of watching lives and being fans of wrestling and just getting on the phone. That's it.
Yep.
Ain't
But
been
the
nothing else
best
outside of
campaign
that.
going on for the WrestleMania.
You said what, bro?
I said the best campaign over the WrestleMania.
Hold on, what'd you say?
Y'all gonna get up. I said that's all from change. We y'all gonna WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, WrestleMania. Yeah. I'm telling you. So
I'm
it's like,
dragging Josiah along too.
when did you meet Josiah?
I said I'm dragging Josiah along too.
Oh, the WrestleMania? Yeah, and the one in
Yeah,
Vegas
my
next year.
first for the club.
That's the
Yeah,
plan
yeah.
to go to
I'm trying
WrestleMania
to.
next year.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to make close with the club. But that is my only choice. And, you know, the trade can be a handful sometimes. You can't help but wanna, you know, these pushing in the pool. Okay?
Put from in a pool is crazy.
You said what?
You're gonna help but put you in the
You
pool. Like if you right there on the edge by the pool, we just put you in. That's crazy. Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, that's hilarious. Just pushing them in the pool is wild.
Put me in the pool is wild. That's crazy. That's
Yeah, that's
insane.
wild.
That's funny.
Yeah, pushing them in the pool is wild.
That's funny. Put me in the pool.
That's wild.
Mhm.
Honestly, how y'all handle it? Well, I think here's why I'm gonna answer for both of you guys right here. So, if I may, have the privilege of answering. Larry,
Mhm.
please, for the love of God, mute that phone.
I'm sorry, but one number today has an echo.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, cool. As I'm just trying to hear
He
myself.
said,
It's
for the
like, bro,
love
it's
of
better.
God.
For the love of God. For the
That's
love.
funny.
But no, I think I'm gonna be honest. I think for Larry, since well, on a real tip, for real, in all seriousness though, I think Larry teaches from time to time how I should do a better job of humbling myself and really consider how I can improve on my relationships with certain people. Where that, because I have an issue a lot of times. I think one of my biggest issues a lot of times for me, and even you can attest to this if you want to, has been this idea of, oh, I have to be right about everything, and people gotta feel where I'm coming from, and people gotta reciprocate the same energy as I have the same energy for some reason. And what I've come to learn about myself is that's not right. That's not right whatsoever.
Mm.
um, and what I've learned is being a lot more, open minded and observant and being okay with y'all's opinions, whether it's talking about wrestling, music, it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? If I have a feel about something, I have a feel about something. I am definitely a big guy when it comes to. I'm big on my beliefs a lot of times, but
Mm.
what I try to make an effort on is understanding where Larry's coming from and being able to like calm myself down. Even though I come at him, I be at his neck. We'll be doing the wrestling talks, and because things he be saying don't make sense, which is true, you know what I'm saying. But on a real tip, in all seriousness, I love Larry. It's all fun and games. We are not taking this thing personal, you guys. Not one bit. Um, and then the other thing is for me when it comes to me and Beezy, I think for you, Beezy, to be perfectly honest, I think in a way you help somewhat balance that. And it ain't just so much about you being like the quote unquote mediator between us
That's
when we're
yeah. Hold on,
talking.
in the comment section
It's
said that.
yeah, somebody in the comment section said that, which is dope. But ain't even just so much that, it's so much of you being like a really good balance. Like you will, like if I'm saying something about something, what you'll do is go, I disagree, but you always follow up with a really good reason as to why you're disagreeing with it, to the point where I'm like, I can reevaluate what I just said now. Okay, I see your point on this, and I see your point on that. And even if I sometimes don't see your point, at least I'm always willing to hear you out over it. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that was a big thing for me, was just having to overcome just self righteousness. You know what I'm saying? I still struggle with that sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm still working on that, trying to be a better job, trying to do a better job of that. I'm not trying to beat myself up too much, but just really work on bettering that when it comes to our relationship as friends, for sure.
Yeah. Right. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, bro. But let me ask you a question. Speaking on that topic, did you ever have that issue too, or was it just more of like, um, or was it different for you?
Um. It was different for me. The reason why. Oh, copy that. If it say if it's okay. It. Hold on.
Okay.
Please log on to it. What does that say? I don't know what this means. Yeah. No, it was kind of different from me in a way, just because I think I just did something wrong. Oh my gosh. Hold on, y'all. Oh my goodness. What did I just do? Um. No, it was different. I think it was different from me because I really was like one of the cool kids. So it says
Mm.
it's 669-830. So I was, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, so it wasn't really anything of that nature that I had to run into. Like I didn't have to try to talk better than somebody or be better than whatever, because a lot of people that I was around, in their minds, they had me better than them already. I never was like that. I was
Mm.
like, no, I never really said I was better than that. I always wanted to be around somebody who I could learn from, like my brothers, like I said, Rashad and Duran and stuff like that. Like they would be like, no, you got it, you him, and I'm like, nah, bro. Like y'all taught me so much, bro. I can't just take that credit and just be like, yo, it's me. Like, nah, bro. I learned so much from y'all.
Yeah.
I want to hear what y'all got to say. Forget me. I ain't worried about none
Mm.
of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was never in that position to actually have to, you know what I'm saying, worry about something along those lines to be like, well, I need somebody to balance something out or whatever. No, there was no balancing that needed to be. You know what I'm saying? There was no balancing that needed to be. Everything was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, I never was put in that position to actually have to try to explain myself to make sure that I'm right type deal, whatever. Now in relationships, it's a possibility that I was trying to do that because maybe some of the things that I was going through in relationships, I felt that I was right about, but debating with the person that I was trying to be right with, it was
Mm.
they weren't trying to hear nothing I had to say anyway. So it was just a waste of time, money, and breath to try to explain myself to them. because they was already locked in on what they, you know what I'm saying? They was already locked in on what they believed or
And what they had felt.
what they was. Yeah, they was already locked in. So since they was already locked in, at the end of the day, there was no way I was gonna be able to change them. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's a yeah. So yeah,
that's real.
so it was like that. Like yeah, no, ain't no changing.
Mm.
They was already that's
Yeah.
what they was on. So I was like, all right, well, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, bro. That's dope, man. So
Exactly.
okay, so you get immersed within the Christian hip hop scene. Larry, chime in if you got asking a question, bro. Um, so you getting yourself immersed into the Christian hip hop scene. And you meet up with Rail Riley. You like talk to me about your relationship with Rail. How did you guys meet? And why is he like your go-to
Oh shoot.
collaborator for such things, where it's to do a podcast, where it's to do,
Hold,
music, or
hold,
y'all, talk to each other as far as brotherhood.
hold on. Ask that again. Hold on. I gotta start this over.
I feel that you ought to go. Treating me like I'm the man. I feel like you ought to go. The things that you do with your hands, I feel like you ought to go. The way that you twerk when you dance, I feel that you ought to go. I feel that you ought to go. Treating me like I'm the man. I feel like you ought to go. The things that you do with your hands, I feel like you ought to go. The way that you twerk when you dance, I feel that you ought to go. Baby, you showing that's for real to me. And I can't keep it low key. See, everything you do to me is crazy. Two to the dome, you know I came to kill. And all the DJs and beat makers know the drill. Your boys back, they all run like sawmill. This beat was just sent to me, this was a fresh kill. But you ain't